Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. I'd like to ask you to please rise and bow your heads for just a moment as we honor one of our very own pony directors who passed recently. We remember all his hard work he did to bring this league and these tournaments to Laredo. Help us remember Bill Johnson, our friend, as he watches down on us as we begin this game. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome everyone to Laredo, Texas. This is the home of the World Series for Pony Palomino baseball. We took a minute there to have a moment of silence for Bill Johnson, a local director that was treasurer of the Pony League here in Laredo, who passed away this year. We are definitely going to miss him. My name is Orlando Navarro. I'll be helping you out with the play-by-play today. Today we have a great game. It's Aroma Park, Illinois against the host Laredo Palominos. Laredo has the weather. Just let me tell you about this weather in Laredo. We're used to it over here, but it was 99 today. We're probably going to drop down to about 77. We are playing on turf, so this is a turf field. The base path is turf, so there's no dirt on the field, there's no grass on the field. You have the big Laredo Independent School District logo in center field. The wind seems to be blowing from right field to left field. The home Laredo team has taken the field, and we're getting ready to get started. And we want to welcome everybody here. And throughout the game, I'll be mentioning some of the sponsors that are helping us out. I want to thank Liquid Studio for doing their part in broadcasting this. And we're going to get going right now. To the plate is Tony Sykes. Sykes, the center fielder. On the mound for Laredo is Amir Encalada. Here comes the first pitch. That's low for ball one. We want to thank those who are listening in. There's a strike for 1-1. Those of you in Illinois, we're down at the end of IH-35. If you drive south on IH-35, we are mile marker number 1. 2 balls and 1 strike on Sykes. Foul ball to the back. I hope that's not a souvenir. We got to bring all the baseballs back, says the directors of Pony. We want to thank Pony. They brought all their directors down. They've been out here in the heat doing a great job for Pony. Strike 3, looking. Nice curveball. To the plate, Caleb Kendron, the left fielder. Shows bunt. Corners coming in. Nothing doing. Strike 1. On behalf of Laredo, we want to welcome everyone to Laredo. It brings an economic boost to our community, and we love hosting all these teams. Those of you listening in, if you're wondering if your kid's eating right, we definitely eat right in Laredo. We've got the tacos. We've got all the food necessary to keep these kids happy. Ball inside. 1-1 the count. Ball outside. Earlier before this game, we had the ceremonial presentation of all the teams. We have the 12 and under World Series going on. The Broncos, they're playing in South Laredo. Ball low and outside. We are in West Laredo, right off of Santa Maria Street. And those of you that might know the Pan American Highway, that's the old Pan American Highway. They get you all the way down to Brazil. There's a chopper to third base, long throw to first. Oh, first baseman pull off the bag. So safe at first is Caleb Kendrigan. The ball took a big hop in the air, so it was just a bang-bang play for the third baseman. He had to get rid of it, so it was a little late to first base. So runner on first, one out. To the plate is Caden Martin. And Kalala looking for the signs. Now he's pitching from the stretch. There's a strike, first pitch. Kendrigan taking a nice lead over at first. Ball down low. Center field playing straight up. Infield playing back. There's the pitch. That's a nice bender over the plate. One ball, two strikes on the batter. There's a foul to the right. First baseman giving a shot. That's out of play. The sun's going down. There's no problems with shadows or sun in the eyes or anything like that. Like I said, the wind's blowing from right to left field. There's another foul ball. Same plays. 1-2 the count. Ball high. 2-2. You know, all the players are playing straight up. There is no scouting report here, so it's a guessing game. And a swing and a miss for out number 2. To the plate is number 34, the first baseman, Tyler Murray. We have a runner on. Tyler Murray's big kid, big, tall, strong-looking first baseman. And Kalala's using that curveball early on, and it seems to be working for him. Swing, foul for strike number 2. And Manolo Rangel is really mixing up the pitches. The head coach for Laredo, he's very in tune with his catcher and loves to call the game from the bench and loves to mix it up. Tyler Murray at the plate. There's a swing, foul ball. He's staying in there. And And Collada's been, this first inning, he's been throwing some pitches, and Aroma Park fouling him off, making him throw a little bit more than he wants. There's another foul. Once again, everybody playing straight up. Man on first base. Caleb Kendrigan, the left fielder at first, taking his lead. Timeout called. Tyler Murray at the plate. Ball inside. Passes the catcher. Wild pitch. That's ball 4, so Tyler Murray goes to first. Kendrigan. I think Tyler Murray and I had a miscount there. He thought he had 3 balls on him. Yeah. Yeah, I think Tyler Murray's trying to say that he was hit by the pitch. From up here, it didn't look like he got hit. Head coach Steve Cantway is coming down to talk to the umpire just to ask him what his thoughts were. I tell you, if you want a good-looking manager, that's Steve Cantway. Boy, he looks like an old-school manager out there. Intimidating figure. So with the pass ball, Kendrigan is at second base. Ty Murray at the plate. He takes a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Tyler Murray. And Collada in the stretch. There's a hit to third base. Ground ball. Ball goes to first. That's out number 1. Excuse me. That's out at first for out number 3. Texas. We're back in Laredo, Texas at the plate. Number 5, Marco Villanueva is going to start off for Laredo, the second baseman. He's the leadoff batter. Nothing doing in the top of the first for Aroma Park. They put one runner on, left him on. There's a foul ball to the left field line. Villanueva on the run. This is a very fast field. Like I said earlier, this is a turf field, so the ball really skips and moves. Strike 2. That's a ball. Sun's going down. We have a nice little crowd out here. The weather is getting a little bit nicer. Earlier today, it was hot. There's a hit right over the shortstop into left field for a base hit. Villanueva on board with a single to left. To the plate for Laredo, number 13, Jose Luis Gamez, the catcher. He'll be batting left-handed, just like Villanueva. Ball 1 high. On the mound for Aroma, Illinois, is Michael Fritas. And I hope I'm getting that right. Ball inside, throw to first for pickoff. No doing. Nice play by the first baseman to keep it in the infield. Assistant coach, third base coach George Canales giving the signals. Man on first. Villanueva, the leadoff hitter, is on first. No outs. Ball low. Three balls, no strike. That's down the pipe. 3-1 the count. Let's see what Canales calls for. Gamez looking. He's back in the box. Fritas gets the sign. And goes a runner. There's a throw from the catcher. And he is safe at second base. Nice play by the shortstop. The catcher threw a great throw, little high, and the shortstop had to do his best to get it from up high and bring it down for the tag. He was just a little late. Nice slide by Villanueva, head first slide. So he calls timeout just to get himself together. But if you want a judgment on the catcher's arm after that one throw, I think Coach Canales saw a little bit of what he wanted to see to make sure that if the catcher does have a good arm, he's going to see him. There's no scouting report here, so you're learning on the fly here. Joel Garcia, number 11, at the plate. So Gamez goes to first base on a walk. So you have Gamez at first, Villanueva at second. Joel Garcia at the plate. Third baseman playing in, no outs. Fastball outside. Once again, the batter getting the signs. Very patient, the Laredo team, picking up their signs early. There's a throw down to second for a pickoff, but nothing doing. Batter showing bunt, brings everyone in. First baseman's playing behind the runner at first. Shortstop and second baseman playing deep. Strike on the outside corner. Three balls, one strike. Ball four. Garcia takes the walk. Bases are loaded for the DH. Juan Elizondo, number 3, the lefty. Once again, the outfield playing straight up. Catcher loses the ball, but it's right under his feet. First and third playing roughly right in line with the grass. And as I say that, the third baseman backs up, but corners in. Second and short at double play depth. Outside ball. There's a foul ball. Lights are on here at Veterans Field. Actually went through a remodel 2-3 years ago. It's an all turf infield, outfield. A lot of people here have fond memories of calling this the old West Martin Field. Home of LISD, Laredo Independent School District baseball. Strike inside. 2-2 the count. Bases loaded, no outs. And we wait for the pitch. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Runner runs by, shortstop throws the first, and he gets the out. So 1 run scores, Villanueva scores for Laredo. Gomez and Garcia advance to second and third. So RBI for the DH, Elizondo. It's a good job by Gomez there as he was at second base. The ground ball was going to the shortstop. He had to hop over the ball and make sure he didn't interfere with the play. At the plate is number 6, Cito Benavides, the third baseman. 1 out, runner on second and third. Michael Freitas is on the mound. There's a strike. Smart play by the shortstop to go to first. There's no way he was going to make a double play move or throw home, so he just went to first. Very smart, get the out. give some confidence to his pitcher. There is some warming up going on in the bullpen for Aroma Park. Pitcher's calling out his catcher. He wants to talk to him a bit. Jason Moore, the catcher, runs out as they go over the pitches. Once again, runners at second and third with one out. The batter is Cito Benavides. There's a ball, gets away from the catcher, but everybody stays. Nice job by the catcher, Moore, to hop on that ball. Once again, this is a fast field. You lose the ball, it's going to roll. Here's the pitch. Right up the middle, over second base into center field. Another run scores. Here comes the second, and that runner scores. Laredo takes a 3-0 lead on a ground ball up the middle by Cito Benavides. And aggressive base running also by Garcia. He was on second base, ball's in center field, but it was bobbled in center field, so he just kept on going. Canales doing a good job, the third base coach, of making them continue, which gives Laredo a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first. There's a foul ball. At the plate is Gerardo Castillo, the right fielder. This is the sixth batter for Fritis. Like I said, there's action in the bullpen for Aroma Parks, Illinois. And the runner goes. There's an attempted bunt, foul. Castillo knows he missed that one. Oh, and 2 the count. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Looks like Canales is giving signs. Looks like Laredo's getting a little bit more aggressive on the base path. One out. Runner at first. There goes the runner. Fouled off again. You can see the frustration there by Benavides. He's swinging away. Castillo swinging away at the plate with the runner going. That's the second time he fouls him off. One and two. YouTube. Want to welcome anybody out there who's listening in on YouTube. Here's the pitch. That's a ball. Runner at first. Batter steps in. Here comes the pitch. Ball outside, gets past the catcher. Benavides to second. Makes a big turn. There's a throw from the catcher from behind home plate. Just keeping the runner in check. So he moves over on a pass ball. So Benavides at second. Fritis is still battling through the bottom of the first. Castillo, the right fielder, at the plate. Swing in a foul tip, but a third strike. Out number 2. As noted, this Laredo team is very patient, making Fritis work for it. At bat is number 15, Joshua Lin. He takes a ball. Man on second base, 2 outs. Laredo in the lead, 3-0. And we are in the bottom of the first. Fritis trying to battle out of this inning. There goes the runner to third. There's the throw to third. Benavides safe, going head first. Man on third, 2 outs. Laredo trying to take advantage of the runner on base. That's a strike. There's the pitch. Ball. In a bit, we'll be talking to a fan of baseball, one of the fans of local sports here, who's getting himself settled in. We'll ask him a couple of questions about Laredo. That ball gets away from the catcher. Catcher's working this first inning. Few pass balls. Fritis is trying to get that third out. 2 outs with a man on third. Ball high. Shortstop, second baseman playing back. Corners are at medium depth. Outfield playing straight up. That was ball 4. So Joshua Lin walks. He's on first. Cito Benavides is on third. At the plate is number 9, Jeremy Gabrillo, the left fielder, batting left-handed. The pitch is low for ball number 1. You wonder what Steve Cantway is thinking, the head coach for Aroma Parks. He's going to try to leave his starter in there. There goes the runner to second. Ball's hit to the shortstop. He makes the throw to first for out number 3. And Fritis is out of it, but not before Laredo scores 3 runs to take a lead. We are going to the top of the second, but with me, I have retired former city manager for the city of Laredo, Jesus Olivares. He sits with me, and his nickname is Chewy. But Chewy, you know, these tournaments come to Laredo. What are your thoughts about having these out-of-town teams that come to Laredo and visit our community?
Well, thank you for having me, Orly. This is a tremendous opportunity for the city of Laredo. This is something that has been in the works since 2009 when Richard Rosas, Valdi Guzman, myself, we traveled to the valley to talk to these individuals, to let them know that we were interested in becoming a part of the Pony organization. And throughout the years, the city of Laredo has gotten 100% behind these type of activities that bring so many tourists to the city that stay in our hotels and buy in our restaurants and just get an opportunity to enjoy the great hospitality here in the city of Laredo. But it means economic benefits to the city, and it's a lot of work. But I think in the long run, this is a whole new revenue and benefit for the city.
And I know that you have a lot of history working in the Parks and Recreation Department for Austin, and you use sports to grow the economy and bring tourists. So you've been doing that model for many years.
It's been something that has worked very well for the city of Austin. At the time that we started going and pushing towards sports tourism was when the city of Laredo and all the border towns started experiencing that drop in tourism because of what was happening in our sister cities in Mexico. So we felt that it was very important to re-engineer ourselves and go after youth sports, and not just baseball, but all other youth sports that come to the city, like Border Olympics that does an array of sports activities throughout the year. That becomes very important simply because it's just an injection of money into the city.
Yeah, when you speak about Border Olympics, that's school, the whole school year. We have cross country, we have soccer, golf, just all the different sports, basketball, that bring people in, and it's just a continuous investment by Laredo that you started and you brought here, and you made everybody a believer, because no one believed in this, and you said it's going to work. We just need to be hospitable, and you know, I could see where you've just taken this to a different level by making the commitment as a city manager and saying we're going to do this.
And it's something that is already very well organized. It's going to continue. I think the most important part is that, you know, baseball for Border Olympics is one of the biggest baseball tournaments in the country. And it's here in Laredo, and during the time that the economy is slow for our hotels and restaurants, we bring that injection into the city.
Yep. No, it's just been a great job, and I appreciate that. But we're getting back to the action. At the plate is Jason Moore, number 0, the catcher. Well, he's been bouncing around behind the plate, and then he has to get ready and get out there to hit. Let's see what Aroma Park can do at the plate. What a great time to have all these teams here. I know you also participated in sports in Mexico. How does it feel for you to see some of the Mexican teams that are coming up to Laredo?
It opened up a lot of doors in Mexico, and
there's a shot to third base. Long throw by third baseman, right on the money for out number 1.
You know, the city of Laredo has an office in Monterrey for its Convention and Visitors Bureau, and it's very important that we always stay in contact with that portion of Mexico, and always inviting them to participate. And as you were talking, Mexico is here in the city today, representing the country of Mexico, both in the Bronco and in the Palomino divisions. So it was that seed that was planted back then that now you're seeing it.
You know, people might not realize the dynamics we have here. We are a border city, and Mexico is very important to us. And I know you've traveled to Mexico, you've been to Mexico City, been to Monterrey, out there promoting the industry that we have here, the import-export industry. So beyond baseball, beyond being the city manager of Laredo, you're out there in Mexico trying to bring commerce to the United States.
That's great. And you know, working with the organizations like COMSE in Mexico that are some of the largest import-export conglomerate groups, and it's always important to let them know that the best way into the United States with their product is through the Port of Laredo.
So Nolan Zacco, strikes out for out number 2. At the plate is Jairus Harris, who gets hit, tosses his bat in anger, but I think he's okay. So he's over at first place. base, hit my pitch. I really enjoy the dynamic we have down here, that we work with two countries, bilingual city. I think the kids coming down here get to see something a little bit different. The hospitality, I was talking earlier about the food that we have.
The cuisine is unbelievable here in Laredo, and everybody will tell you. I mean, it's second to none. And of course, our hospitality goes a long way. It's great.
I've known you have cooked for teams. There's a foul, catcher giving chase. That's out of play. But I've seen you physically start a fire, cook meat for the kids. You know, whenever you have a chance, you've done that. And I don't know of the city managers out there that take the lead in doing that.
Yeah.
You know, you can give an order and tell people go cook, but
That's
when
correct.
you're out there doing it.
That's correct. That's the only way you're going to find out what's going on. And by being involved with all the volunteers and everybody that helps out, and you know, it's always good to be able to provide a great meal for these kids. And I can tell you, these kids can eat.
There's a foul ball at the plate. Levi Crosswell's at the plate. So runner at first. Two outs. Laredo in the lead, 3-0. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Picks it up. Long throw to first.
Got him.
And he gets him out. 6-3 for the third out.
You know, Orly, the city of Laredo is currently in process of building a new sports complex, and I think that's only going to add to the tremendous opportunity to bring, you know, world-class baseball, you know, to Laredo, and that's something that we need. It's very important, not only for summer and summer youth baseball, but for everybody here in the city to utilize it. But it's also going to provide an opportunity for Border Olympics to increase its numbers in the baseball tournament. And we're already the largest tournament and the only tournament in the entire state of Texas, but in the country. And I don't think there's any other baseball tournament in the world that has this many high school baseball teams.
I think last year we had 50 teams. Well, we've had to turn away some teams because of the field situation. But, you know, like I said, you taught people what sports can bring to this town. You were key in building Unitrade Stadium, which is our baseball stadium, which is the home of our sister city, the Nuevo Laredo Tecolotes. So we're the only city in the country that has a minor league baseball team that plays on both sides of the country. They play in the United States half the season, they play in Mexico half the season. You were a big part of that, but you brought in that stadium. You made people believe in these tournaments. You committed to it, which then turned around and had the voters go out, and they voted for this complex that's now coming. So proof is in the pudding, but it's that beginning when you have to tell people this will work, you know. And there's always the naysayers that say, well, you're putting too much money into a stadium, you're putting too much money into these fields and everything. And you just kept plugging away. And now what's pretty neat for you to see is a stadium that's up. You get to walk in and say, boy, I helped put this here. Now you're getting ready to see a sports complex, which is the result of all these tournaments that come to town, and now Laredo understands what's going on here. And beyond that, you've also were key in improving some of our parks in the area so that we could have live music and stuff like that. So kudos to you for all you've done. Now I just made you look tired.
I tell you what, it was great, and all of this is possible only if you have a mayor and a city council that believe and support these type of this is all to benefit, number one, the citizens of this community. It's a benefit for everybody here in this city. You know, just last week we had the girls World Series fast pitch, and we were at one of the restaurants, and about 3 teams showed up, and we said, and the manager comes up and he says, "This is great. Can we have this every weekend?"
That's right. That's what you need. Fritis is on the mound, stays in the game, and he gets a strikeout. Looks like head coach Steve Cantway is walking out to the mound. He wants to talk to his pitcher after first out. You're right. We just had last week 100 girls softball teams here in Laredo from ages 6 through 18. We even had a special ed division and special needs division, and it was all over the city. We had girls everywhere, and they were enjoying it.
And you know, the tremendous part about this whole ponying organization is that you see a lot of parents here with the kids, a lot of relatives, and you know, that only adds to the heads and beds in the city. And I know the hotels that get an opportunity to participate, you know, hopefully they're benefiting from it, and the restaurants that these patrons patronize, I hope they're getting a benefit too, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that keep this city going.
I know that when big tournaments like this happen, you were key in bringing all the departments together to communicate what's going on, including police and fire and the parks department, all the different departments, to try to make it as safe as possible.
Exactly. And not only that, but the police department, they know that we have a lot of guests in town. So, you know, they already know that they will drive through the hotels and make sure that, you know, the presence is visible throughout the city, especially during these times. They go out and they set up the tower. So they are, you know, completely on board. They know exactly what's happening in the city right now, and they know what their role is, and they do a great job. They certainly do.
They do. As we talk, Fritis is out of the game after the first out, and now warming up is number 17, Lucas Frank. There you go. I'm being explained the strategy behind it. He's on a 45 pitch count so that he could come back after 1 day's rest. So if he pitches one more pitch over 45, two pitches over 45, he'd have to take a 2-day rest. So Steve Cantway, thinking about the tournament and what he has to do, pulls his starting pitcher to bring in Lucas Frank, number 17, a righty on the mound. I believe the same strategy is being done by Laredo, because in their bullpen they have a pitcher warming up, so he's getting ready, possibly to do the same thing. 3-0 Laredo in the lead. At the plate is number 5, the leadoff hitter, Marco Villanueva. So I know, Chuy, you retired. Now you're relaxing, enjoying your grandson. Your family's growing, doing all that fun stuff. But how do we get you out of retirement to bring you back? To ground ball at second base, goes to first.
I tell you, it's great to see the kids grow up. Now the grandsons are out there, so we get to spend some good quality time. I think they all went through it. You know, my kids were what you call park babies. They grew up in the business, and they also worked in the business. Both of them used to work for the City of Austin Parks and Recreation Department, and to me, I mean, that's all they ever saw when they were growing up. So for them, it was normal. And they also get involved with a lot of the youth activities in the city of Austin. Also, always volunteering and doing something for the kids.
That's right. So they're Just like a coach has their kid in the gym, your kids were in the parks because they had to follow you around.
That's right. I guess that's part of having kids and working for the city, and you got to bring them along for every single event that you go to.
Gomez strikes out for out number 3. So we go to the.
We were talking about the sports complex and how when you build facilities like this, they're also building something that we worked on the tennis courts at MEU that at that time council member Roque Vela put up the funding for it, and so it's getting built. So that only adds more tennis courts for Border Olympics so that we can increase the size of our tournament and so forth.
And that tennis tournament has 60 teams.
Correct.
And now we already do 60 teams, and you're putting in a new tennis
correct.
complex. So wait to see how many teams are bringing in.
And then you stop and say, okay, well, we built the sports complex, and it's only. I see that only a certain phase is going to get built right now, and you're going to build more fields as you go along. Very similar to what City of Round Rock did. They started out with 8 fields, 10 fields, and now they're up there in their 30s, and they hold some, big time world championships. And when that complex gets built, I think it'll spur off an additional opportunity because of all the ball fields that we have at the base. We immediately need to turn that property over back to the airport so that the economic engine can continue in that area, attract more industry and more businesses, and that needs to happen quickly so that that property can produce money for the city.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're using fields that shouldn't be fields. They should be, businesses of some sort. I made this comment last week when I was talking to all the coaches, and when I told them about the complex, I told the Pony family that they are really connected to that field. If it wasn't for the Pony tournament coming down and proving to everybody how Pony can help not only the kids, but the economic growth of a city, that tie right there, I said, you all should be proud of yourselves because you are key to why the city had the confidence to go forward and vote on it and pass it, and now we're getting it built. So, we have a very good relationship with Pony, and with their help, with Richard Rosas and that bunch, it's just a combination of so many different things that's put this together, and now we're seeing the fruits of all this.
It's been great throughout the years. It's since 2009 that we started this process.
Wow.
And we also want to thank all the officials from Pony that, when we showed up in the valley, they accepted us and they said, well, Laredo's going to come into the picture now. And we told them that we were going to host every single tournament that was available. And it's been happening throughout the years. And this is the icing on the cake right
That's
now.
right. I mean, we have Aroma Park, Illinois, here in Laredo, Texas, playing number 17, the pitcher, Lucas Frank, is at the plate. He swings and misses. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who is it that put here, but they put Kankakee, Illinois. But the head coach on his paperwork put Aroma Park, Illinois. So I've got a feeling Aroma Park is a suburb or something like that, or maybe that's where the coach lives. But we want to welcome them to Laredo, Texas. Aroma Park in gray pants with their navy blue top. Ball outside. It's a long drive to get down here, but we thank them for coming down and staying with us. The parents are in the crowd. Swing and miss by Lucas Frank. The parents were here. They heard our national anthem, and then after that they heard the national anthem of Mexico. They heard the national anthem of Puerto Rico. Lithuanian national anthem?
You know, this is a great opportunity because here we have our own Laredo boys playing, and there's been a lot of work done in order to bring the rest of the world to Laredo, so our kids can have a tremendous opportunity to play baseball against some of the best teams throughout the country.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that the family members listening know that we take priority with these kids. That, like we said, meetings are held throughout the week before this tournament to make sure that the police department, our hospitals, our fire department, everybody's aware that we have visitors in town. So that we could watch some baseball. So when we call this a baseball town,
Yeah.
it's a complete mix of everything.
Yeah, but it's the rest of the people that don't live in Laredo. They see Laredo as a sports town, simply because we've taken Border Olympics to a whole new level.
You're right.
Instead of just track and field, that we used to have, we've added a lot of sports throughout the years, and it's kept up with the industry also.
Tony Sykes at the plate. Laredo in the lead, 3-0. Outside pitch. I don't know if Tony liked that call, but that's strike 3. Ball tossed around.
The city of Laredo supports all leagues, Little League, all the other leagues that are in the city. We support anything that has to do with the youth.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's very important. It's an investment out front right now, where these kids right here, they're going to have opportunities ahead of them because they've been doing the right thing. And it's very important that the city invests in these type of sports.
At the plate is number 9, Caleb Kendrigan. He's getting his signs. You're absolutely right. Those of you that have never heard of Border Olympics, there's a grounder at second base, and bobbled by the second baseman, can't get a hold of it. Kendrigan is safe at first. E4. Those of you out there listening, Border Olympics has been around in Laredo, Texas since 1932. It started off as a college track meet. Universities, Division I universities would come to Laredo. They'd compete. And over time, once indoor track came into play, we kind of lost the college teams and they started going to indoor track. So Border Olympics had to reinvent itself.
That's right.
So we went to the high school level.
That's correct. And at that time, we added girls also, because Border Olympics used to be just the boys and men's. And we added the girls track and field so that boys and girls teams could travel together in buses and save money by still coming to one of the best track meets in the state of Texas.
I know that we've had the likes of Drew Brees, who came down to Laredo, football player, future Hall of Famer from New Orleans Saints, but he came down here as a baseball player and played in our baseball tournament. We also have a college golf tournament that we put on. We had some big names come down to play in that. Here's the pitch and a swing. At the plate is Caden Martin. At first base is Caleb Kendrigan. There goes the runner. There's a grounder to second. He was committing to second base. He was able to double back, get the grounder, throw to first. 4-3 for out number 3. We love to hear stories about, who's listening out there. The last time we did this tournament, we had grandparents calling in. We have Taiwan is here. They'll be playing tomorrow. And we actually have people that are staying up late in Taiwan to watch the game, and they're reaching out to us to just say hi to to their kids. We have the Taiwanese Association out of Houston, San Antonio, which are the nearest big cities to Laredo, but they're busing down the Taiwanese communities to Laredo just to watch their team play.
Oh, just the welcome that was given to this team by all the local folks that support the team. Lin, she's done a great job, and she's organized all the volunteer help. And I tell you what, these kids, they got to feel real comfortable to see this many folks come and see them play, especially when you're coming into a different country. Good-looking set of kids, very polite, and as well as all their volunteers.
3-0, Laredo in the lead right now.
Laredo. What inning?
We are in the bottom of the third.
Bottom third.
Susie, top of the fourth.
Fourth.
Top of the fourth. Oh, this is bottom three? All right. See, we're doing everything here. We have parents running up to us asking us, getting information, and I'm trying to interview and do three things at one time. But there's a strike. At the plate is number 11, Joel Garcia. On the mound for Aroma Park is number 17, Lucas Frank. Big, strong fastball pitcher. He's bringing it, but you know, with this heat, we have beautiful weather. We'd love some more rain.
I tell you what, I hope somebody's hearing you, because we haven't had any rain down here in Laredo.
Thus the reason for the turf field. Yeah. My understanding, Lithuania is here, and they spent a week in San Antonio visiting before they came down to Laredo.
Great.
So even San Antonio's getting a little bit of the action.
Getting a little bit of that tourist money.
There's a hard shot to the shortstop. Beautiful play by the shortstop. The throw to first for out number 1. Jarvis Harris with the play. He made it look simple. Well, I say he throws a fastball, but looks like Lucas Frank just dropped over a nice curveball. He kind of fell off the mound a little bit. There's a foul out. You know, I've never pitched on turf. Typically a pitcher would make a hole in front of the rubber, and then his foot that plants in front, he fixed the dirt there, and he's got it all set up. There's a shot up the middle. Juan Elizondo with a line shot. Nice, solid hit to center field. He's on first base. So I just wonder how it feels for a pitcher that, he doesn't get that hole where I guess his foot lands every time. So every time it's a little bit different for him up there.
It's what you call digging that little groove in there.
Yeah. I don't get that here.
You don't get it, and the thing is that's something that most of these players have already gotten used to, because that's what all cities are going to this turf.
Ball gets away from the catcher. Elizondo to second base. At the plate is Cito Benavides. Cito with a single his last time at bat. With a man on second base, Laredo up 3-0 in the bottom of the third.
It's great for maintenance.
You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, we definitely don't get water enough. Like we said, we don't get much rain in this, I'd love to say neck of the woods, but in this dry desert. You're listening to us in Laredo, Texas. We are on the border of the Rio Grande. Mile marker on IH-35 South. I was telling people earlier that we're right off of Santa Maria Street, which is the route of the Pan American Highway back in the day.
Back in the day, it was a way to get into town.
Way to get into town, and it takes you all the way to South America. That's ball 4 for Cito Benavides. He's on. So Juan Elizondo, the DH, is at second base. Cito Benavides goes to first base. At the plate is number 8, Gerardo Castillo. Yeah, we have many motorcycle groups, with their Harley Davidsons that come through Laredo, wanting to experience the whole Pan American ride all the way to South America.
What was that race that they used to have with all the antique cars? Remember when they crossed through here? We kind of gave them an official Laredo hospitality welcome and kind of helped them.
The second baseman, first baseman. He makes a play. He's with the hustle of Castillo. He's safe at first. There was a cross-up between the first baseman and the pitcher of who exactly was gonna make the play. Was the pitcher going to run over and touch first, or was he going to pitch it to the pitcher? Well, that didn't happen. The runner is safe, so bases loaded for Laredo. They're up 3-0. On the mound is Lucas Frank. At the plate is Josh Lynn. One out, bases loaded. There's a pop-up to the infield. The pitcher's staying with it. Yeah, typically, you want the pitcher to get out of the way and let the infielders make the play, but he stayed with it. So Lucas Frank catches that one for out number 2. Bases loaded. Laredo up 3-0. At the plate is number 9, Jeremy Gabrillo. And Lucas Frank is trying to get out of this inning with bases loaded. All inside, very close. Oh, umpire saying it did hit him. So Gabriel goes to first. Coming in is Juan Elizondo. Laredo up 4-0. Lucas not happy. Lucas Frank not happy with that. Once again, bases loaded. At the plate, number 1, Andrew De Leon. There's a grounder up the middle. Second baseman gets it, flips it to the shortstop at second for out number 3. That ends the inning. And Lucas Frank gets out of it with just 1 run. Laredo up 4-0 going into the top of the 4th. You're listening to World Series Championship Baseball, Palomino Pony League Baseball in Laredo, Texas. We're going to take a break, let you hear some commercials, or see some of the commercials that help us put this together, all our sponsors. Be back in a minute. this kid can really put it far. Swings and misses for out number one.
Let me tell you.
Pitch outside, and that's a walk for Jason Moore. He's on first. Coming to the plate is Nolan Zacco. We want to thank Liquid Studio for everything they do to put this game together. They have it on YouTube, and the young ladies here have it on Facebook and all the different social media platforms. Gene Belmares, owner of Liquid Studio, puts it all together. Yeah, I know the partner Mario Macaroni's out there probably listening in, but yeah. All right, we'll thank him. We'll thank him too. He's in. Oh, nice. Okay. There's a grounder to second baseman. That chop was very high. Ball goes to first for the out. Second baseman made a smart move. That ball, this turf, pops the ball up. When it hits, it goes straight up in the air. There was no way for a double play. He stayed with it, went to first. So runner advances to second. Now Harris is at the plate. He swings and fouls that one off. .40 the score. Top of the fourth. Aroma Park's trying to do something here with man on second base. There's a shot up the middle, straight center field. Center fielder throws it in. Runner's going to stay at third. We have a runner on first and third. Nice two-out hitting by Harris. That was a shot. In fact, it was such a shot that there was no way for the runner to actually try to score. This turf just got the ball to the outfield faster than normal. Smart move by the coach to try to hold the runner. It was going to be close. So first and third for Aroma Parks, trying to get something going here with two outs. That's where that turf kind of works against you. Yeah, that that kind of base hit should have scored somebody from second base. Running for the catcher is Connor Bell, number 2. And that's a Connor Bell can run. Levi Crosswell looking at that one. Crosswell trying to get something going here. First and third, 2 outs. Crosswell at the plate. There's a pitch. Wild pitch. That'll score a run. Runners advance first and second for Aroma. They get a run in 4-1 Laredo, but Aroma's trying to do this with 2 outs. The Laredo manager, Manolo Rangel, calls for time, and he's going out to mound to talk to his pitcher. That was just a way outside pitch for Encalada. So you have runners at first and third. Lucas Frank is going up to the plate. Steve Cantwell calls him over to talk to him. Still a discussion on the mound. Pitcher stays in the game. So Aroma Park's making a run. I hope I get this right. Kevin Schroeder, number 19. He's got a cowboy hat in the dugout for Aroma Park. That's fun to watch.
Yeah, he bought that cowboy hat at the outlet mall. We saw him when the whole team was out there shopping.
Double steal called by Coach Cantway. Runners advance to second and third. Head first slide into third by Harris. He gets there safe. Aggressive base running by Aroma Park. Now they have men at second and third. Lucas Frank is at the plate. 2 outs. Aggressive base running by Illinois. Advancing the runners. Hey, take a chance. 2 outs. Move them over. Get them in scoring position. Pitch. That's a ball. Shortstop, second baseman playing back outfield, playing straight up. Oh, that's inside. It looks like it hit the batter. Lucas Frank. From up here, it would look very scary, but he doesn't seem to have a problem with that. He goes to first. Bases loaded for Aroma Park, Illinois. Tony Sykes, the leadoff batter, is at the plate. He's talking to the coach. So a break for Aroma Park. Now they have been down 3-0. Now it's 3-1. 2 outs, bases loaded. Their leadoff batter at the plate, coming to run in, running for the pitcher. So Lucas Franks comes out, and Landon Provost, number 1, is now at first base. He'll be running. So all eyes are on Tony Sykes right now. You could see his jersey flapping as that wind's picked up. He swings and misses. That wind, that center field American flag is just blowing hard. It's flapping around. Strike 2, 2 quick strikes. Amir and Kalala trying to get out of this inning. And called third strike. 3 pitches for Kalala. The strikeout. Sykes with bases loaded. Nothing doing. So Laredo stays on top. They're up 4-1. Aroma trying to do something. Some nice aggressive coaching by Coach Cantway. And we are going to take a break. ball to second base for the third out. So we're going to have to get our act together here, but we've been enjoying our time here, and that's a lot of fun. But don't remove those thumbs up. Every thumbs up, I get $1. So when I talked to Liquid Studio, they told me that that's going to be the deal. We'd like to thank some of our sponsors. The Convention and Visitors Bureau for the City of Laredo, they're one of our major sponsors. Is City of Laredo, also United Independent School District, our county, Webb County. We are in Webb County. They're also helping us out. Sames Auto, which is it is the oldest Ford dealership in Texas. Whitworth Cigarroa, they helped us out. La Posada Hotel, the historic La Posada Hotel. You come down here, make it a point to stay at La Posada. Liquid Studio, they're the guys that put all this together, and we are happy to have them here. Leindecker Construction, they are also sponsors. These are groups that are big in our community, have always been there to help out, and we enjoy the fact that they want to sponsor these activities for kids. Chewy, you hear some of these business names, it seems like they're also coming together to support the kids and the sports that we do. More entertainment, and that's a friend of ours.
Exactly. I mean, you talk about somebody that
Roquevela.
did a lot, and it still does.
Yep.
It's always there, sponsoring, donating, helping out. We want to thank him for all he does.
Advanced Spine is also on here. Blue Top Companies. We even have Richard Rosas, the director. His family companies are involved. Rotex Trucks, Andy's Air, Andy's Mobility. So we want to thank all the sponsors that have helped out, including LISD, Laredo Independent School District, United Independent School District, for all their help. We can't. This is a joint effort between all the entities. You can't. You're not going to put on a tournament like this if you don't have your county, your city, your school districts, everybody participating. It's been nothing but just.
Those are true partnerships. You see all these entities collaborating. They talk about leveraging resources right here.
So, on the mound for Laredo, let me get you that name. That's number 4, Arturo Garcia. Seems like every pitch he throws, his hat falls off to show off his long, what would we call it? His locks of hair. Strike 3 on the batter. Well, I tell you, that umpire has a very big strike zone. The pitcher is number 4, Arturo Diego Garcia. At the plate batting, number 12, Nolan Zacco. Might be Zacco because the accent is over the O. So maybe Zacco.
Go.
Umpire calls time to get the baseball.
Yep. Manolo Rangel been coaching this age group for many, many years. Also, Manolo is a tournament director for the Border Olympics baseball tournament.
His profession is a CPA in town, but ever since I can remember, he's been a volunteer coach for the
Exactly.
kids. I mean, he's got kids that have graduated college that he coached, and he's still at it. He's still out there.
He's got some good coaches helping him, and I mean, these gentlemen really spend a lot of time with these kids. A lot of the schools here in town have been so successful because of all the work that Rangel has done throughout the years. The team you see out here tonight is a representation of all the schools here in Laredo.
You know, you look at the coaching staff for Aroma Park, and you have Andy Zacco and Jim Croswell. I would assume are the fathers of the kids that are playing, but typical pony league, dads volunteering, helping their kid grow up playing the sport of baseball. So it's wonderful to see that. We have that in Laredo throughout, where dads are out there. It's just very common. So it's great to see that. And what an experience to be able to bring your kid to a World Series and see him on the field. So
That's some great memories and priceless, you know. And we hope they all have a great time and they have a great experience. And hopefully it helps in their growth to young adults. So all of this helps, you know. They got good coaches teaching them some good discipline. And most important, you know, be respectful, you know, to the public.
absolutely. Jervis Harris is at the plate. 2-2 the count. We are in the top of the sixth inning. 4-1 Laredo with the lead. And coming in and striking out the side, Diego Garcia. 1-2-3. He sends them walking back to the dugout. We go into the bottom of the sixth to score 4-1. You know, we talk about Laredo. For those that don't know about Laredo and our biggest industry, the import-export business, and we have 18-wheelers and these states like Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee. We have a huge connection with all those states.
Every single state that is here, even the country that is here, eventually has some type of product that crosses through Laredo to make it to their home state. Laredo is home of the largest inland port in the country, and the tremendous amount of 18-wheelers that cross our international bridges, Colombia and World Trade. And you know, when you let people know that, you know, we see anywhere between 13, 14, 15,000 trailers a day, it's hard for them to believe that, but it's true. This is where the rubber meets the road.
15,000 trailers a day crossing into Laredo or exiting.
Back and forth. And a lot of them cross and they don't go back, and that just goes to show you how many trailers are doing business here on the border. And of course, that's one of the lifelines for the city of Laredo. You know, it generates, you know, a good amount of money or good revenue that is able to keep all the basic services going here in the city, fire, police, all those services. They contribute to that.
On the mound is number 19 for Aroma Park, our cowboy, Kevin Schroer, who bought his cowboy hat. He had to take it off and put on his baseball cap to get on the mound.
That's correct.
And he's bringing it. Blowing that by number 1, Andrew De Leon, the second baseman. De Leon's been having a good day out on the field, making some nice plays out there. There's a fall off to the right.
You know, Manolo as you were saying, is no stranger to coaching teams here in Laredo. He he took the first team from Laredo to the World Series and won it, and they won the World Series. And that particular group of kids that came up, I think they were 14-year-old kids at the time. Uh, as soon as they got into high school, a lot of those kids went off to play baseball in colleges and so forth. So, you know, he follows the kids. He stays with the group and he stays with them until they turn 18, and then he'll go back down and pick them up again.
There's a strikeout for short. There was a question whether the batter swung or not, but first base umpire said yes, he did. You know, and the stories that we talk about our Pony League coaches here in Laredo, Texas, it's all over. I mean, you see that in all the Pony Leagues. You see that with all these kids. You definitely see the talent that Aroma Park brings to Laredo. These kids definitely have the talent.
¿En serio? Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Sidebar.
Yeah. There's a shot. Marco Villanueva over the center field's head. That's rolling all the way back. Center fielder gets to it, throws it in, hits his cutoff man. Villanueva, thinking he could go to third, had to stop at second. Once again, you see that in a typical grass infield, that ball goes to the wall. That's an easy stand-up triple. But the way this turf plays, the center fielder was able to get it on a high bounce. It went over his head, but he was able to get it, turn around, get it into the infield, did a great job hitting his cutoff man, held the runner to a double. One out. Fouls that off. It's really interesting to see how these kids have to adapt to this type of field. I know we were talking about the heat and how it hurts, but it's such a fast infield. You know, it changes the game. You gotta position yourself deeper. You gotta, it's just not like grass.
It's not, and anytime you get a ball come off the bat at a very high speed level, that ball shoots, and it's only going to take one bounce, and it could be bounced over their head. So that's why they have to play a little bit far back.
There's another swing. You definitely see the bounce. You know, we've transitioned to this turf just about in every field in Laredo, because we talk about how we don't get a lot of rain and we have to, service the grass. And
Exactly.
And going to this just has made a big difference in the budget, but it is something that the players have to adjust to.
Exactly. Everybody was used to playing baseball here at the original West Martin Field, now Veterans Field. Used to be a turf field. In fact, this is where the Tecolotes, the Los Dos Laredos, started playing baseball. And this is where the Mexican League All-Star Game was held also. So this park has been through a lot of games.
There's another foul ball. I'll tell you who really enjoys this turf. It's the parents, because they don't have to wash those uniforms anymore to get the dirt stains out.
Exactly. All the washing machines at the hotels were working overtime when we used to have all these dirt grass fields.
There's a pop-up. That goes out of play. Kevin Schroer on the mound. Our cowboy in the dugout, wearing the cowboy hat. He had to get on the mound. So he's doing his thing. There's a grounder to the first baseman. Big hop for Ty Murray, who pitches it to the first baseman, pitcher, to make the out. Runner advances to third. That was a nice play over there. It's a bang bang play, you know, in the commitment that the pitcher has to make once he comes off the mound to go to first base. You know, that means a lot to the first baseman, because if he doesn't make that commitment, then the first baseman's curious, you know, doesn't know whether to toss it or run to first. We've already seen that play where there was complications on the play, but that was a textbook how to run that play between the first baseman and the pitcher.
What do I do?
Right now, Joel Garcia, number 11, is at the plate with a runner at third. 4-1 the score. Laredo leading.
Started all this. Yeah.
There's a strike.
Más que algo fuimos y por Richard que tuvo que quedar.
Runner on third is just very active, just bouncing around over there and trying to distract the pitcher.
That's why he's over there relaxing. Todo el jale se hace. Ya está todo. Dejamos todo listo.
There's a shot straight up in the air by Joel Garcia to center fielder. Center fielder was playing too far in. That bounces over his head. Center fielder bobbles the ball, so a run scores. Runner goes to third. They're sending him home. The cutoff man throws home. He throws it wide. And Laredo infield, inside the park, home run for Joel Garcia. He never stopped running. Canales, the third base coach, never stopped him. Good job by watching his coach picking up the sign. He never slowed down. I think the cutoff man thought he was going to stop at third, so he turned to kind of run the ball in, but he ended up coming home. The throw was way off target. 6 runs for Laredo. So score 6-1. 2-run score. At the plate is Juan Elizondo, the designated hitter. I don't know if the center fielder just misplayed it with the light, but he definitely did not get the jump that he wanted to get after that ball, and the ball just went over his head.
It went over his head all the way to the fence.
all the fans in the booth here are telling me that was a hit.
That was a shot.
Yeah. Here's the pitch outside for Juan Elizondo. Shore doing his best on the mound. There's a swing and a miss. You wonder if Illinois is getting over jet lag or whatever it is that you know, getting to Laredo, trying to acclimate, because that could be some of the reasons why Laredo is up.
Believe me, the first thing they have to acclimate themselves to is the weather, and it's hot here in Laredo. So, you know, constantly got to be drinking water. You have to stay hydrated.
I don't know how these coaches do it, because the excitement that these kids have when they get here, then they're in the hotels. I mean, how do you get them to go to sleep early? How do you get them to, you know, with the excitement?
I think the coaches and parents that come and help them, I think they only hope that they get some sleep. Yeah. But, you know, being this age and, you know, being out here in the World Series, you know, just the excitement won't let you sleep at night.
That's right. So, you know, I just think that's more of what Aroma's doing right now, is just trying to get into it. Obviously, they're playing the home team. Home team, you know, they're in their beds and they're playing on the field they practice on, and so
eating mama's cooking and everything.
Elizondo with a high fly ball to right field, second baseman under it for the third out. So 2 runs score on some bombs to center field. An inside the park home run by Joel Garcia, the highlight of that inning. We go to the bottom of the, we go to the top of the 7th inning. Laredo going out onto the field. So if Aroma's going to do anything, they have to do it here. So Coach Cantway talking to the players, trying to keep their focus, talking to his assistant coaches. It is a challenge for these young kids to come into town and maintain their focus with all the excitement of the opening ceremony, the excitement of being in a different city, the travel just to get here, all that, and then to play a game. I expect Aroma to bounce back. You know, you look at Fritis, Michael Fritis, once again, we were talking, Pony director here telling us he only threw 45 pitches. So he gets 1 day rest. So Cantway is still strategizing what to do with his players to get stronger as the tournament goes on. And that's strategy you have to think about.
And they have to preserve as many pitchers as possible, because you never know what team you're going to come up against, and they can go through 2-3 pitchers in one game.
Absolutely. You know, I'm looking at the weather. It looks like it's going to be 99 tomorrow. So these kids played during the day. You know that these kids actually, the sun went down. There's a nice cool breeze. It's dropped down to about 70 something. So they're actually enjoying this weather. But tomorrow they're going to get out there on the field when it's
super hot.
Super hot. And that's going to take, like you said earlier, they have to stay hydrated. And that is not something you take lightly.
That's right. Got to be real careful and make sure everybody's hydrated.
Foul ball. Yeah, we have a high tomorrow of 104.
Orly, that sounds like a cold front compared to what we've been having, huh?
So it's good. These kids are going to have to wear sunscreen and all this stuff. You definitely are going to get your work in if you're a pitcher.
Exactly.
And a catcher.
And the catcher.
And an umpire, that's right.
You don't get to take out his gear.
Nothing. They don't get to leave the field, period.
We appreciate the umpires that come down to do these games. There's a swing and strikeout.
You know, Orly, this stadium originally was built with EDA funds, Economic Development Agency, federal government. And I remember putting the application together with Carlos Villarreal, who was our city manager and also back then in charge of community development. The application was put together, and part of getting funding from that organization, you have to create jobs. It has to be an economic impact. So we put in there ticket takers, ticket sellers, grounds crew,
everything
umpires,
you can think of. Yeah.
Everybody that got paid. You wouldn't have been able to have that job if the stadium wouldn't be here.
And those are the secrets to getting that kind of money.
Exactly.
Henry Bertrand,
Yeah.
number 18 at the plate.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Arturo Garcia doing his job on the mound, keeping Aroma Parks off balance. Outside pitch for strikeout number 2 for Arturo Diego Garcia. So, Pony League plays their games with 4 umpires. Umpire at the third base line, first base line, center field, behind the plate.
That's it.
Arturo Garcia throwing strikes, mixing it up. That's strike 2 on Anthony Sykes at the plate. Tony Sykes. Really a good-looking leadoff batter. And strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down. That's the end of the game. Final score 6-1 Laredo over Aroma Park, Illinois. 7-1. We want to thank everybody who is listening in, who battled through with me. And we are going to be back here tomorrow with more games for the Palomino's Pony World Series 2022 in Laredo, Texas. All the way in the border. From the streets of Laredo.
From the streets of Laredo.
Chuy Olivares, thank you for sticking here. And what ended up being just a short interview to just sticking around. Thank you for staying. And hopefully people out there learned a little bit about Laredo, a little about the love that we have, the passion that we have for our kids, for the kids in general. And what